BJ, with all this COVID-19 stuff and the coronavirus stuff going around, but we're starting to reopen here in Indiana. Stage 3 opens up for us very, very soon. What would you share to anyone that's looking to come into a gym or any type of group setting, as the things are starting to open back up?
Yeah. So a couple of things in general, know yourself. So there's a couple different approaches. If you're one of those protected groups, those groups in terms of age, pre-existing conditions, I mean, you have to have a self-awareness and self-knowledge to know that am I a viable target to be on the worst end of this if I run into it? Do I get sick easily? Do these things happen for me? And then you need to address that with a physician before, I think even before you go to the grocery store, let alone go to a gym, let alone go to a park or a concert or anything like that. I think that's kind of the most affected group, and you need to think about that and really be diligent and take this all very, very seriously. So maybe you're not coming back right away. The next group is, I think, equally affected by it, but I think it's more news cycle and it's feelings. I don't feel safe. I don't want to get sick. I'm very scared about that, and that is just as real. I think you need to honor that, and I think you need to find a place that honors the social distancing, honors like cleaning regimen, and I think you need to do your homework. Are they or are they not doing that? So if you go to a gym that does a lot of other things, what are their training protocols? What does that look like if there's different varied people going, if they have different equipment, different things going on, if it's a work gym, and there's other people going in, how rigorous are those protocols? And then just look at your feelings. Do you feel safe training here or not? Because that's what we're really talking about. Do I feel like I can train and really focus on my craft or not? So those are the two big ones. The people that want to come back and train after COVID and get there, the advice I give them is, get back after it to the degree you're comfortable, but honor the space, honor these space requirements, because other people might not be that rigorous to be given high fives, fist bumps, using the same equipment, and just be conscious and listen. Listen to your teammates, listen to the people that you're trained with, or if you have one workout partner, even if you're not on the same page with how you feel about this, honor each other's space. You can train together and work together and still accomplish a lot within a broad spectrum of comfort with this. As it relates to how we're doing it, I think that's the broadest at the Arsenal. When you come in, you're going to see a taped out floor where there is a workout space that manages the social distancing requirements. You're going to see disinfectant wipes. You're going to see a massive hand washing basin that our athletes wash their hands before training even starts, before we do a board talk. You're going to see people wiping down equipment after warm-up, after use. So when you grab a bar, anything, it's been wiped down before you use it, and you can even wipe it down before you use it. So you're the only one using that resource. So it's almost like the toothbrush. Like, do you want to use anyone else's toothbrush? Like, some people are like, no, I don't want to even touch my barbell. Well, you have that with what we're doing. I think the other pieces too, from a community standpoint and how we run, you don't get to pick what you do here. When you come into the Arsenal, there's an existing culture. There's a type of person that is very, very conscious of their overall healthcare. That's the type of person you're going to be training next to. So these type of people already have the rigors in practice, and you won't be touching any equipment Coach Eric says you're not touching today. Everyone's doing a well-defined thing. There's not random people coming in and out, like maybe using it, maybe they're wiping it down, maybe they're not. There's a level of discipline and accountability we have built in that I think even the most cautious coming back in, I think, is going to find a subjectively, i.e. feelings, safe environment, but also a objectively or empirically very safe, clean, well-defined environment to re-enter your training. And I think the other thing that can't be lost in this, whether you go to the Arsenal and train with us, I think one of the bigger things when you come here is like we listen to our athletes. You're not dumb. You know what things, you have ideas, and we want to listen to you and we want to honor that. Versus, and I say we tell you what to do when it comes to programming training. I mean, that is true. We're a coach, but we listen to each other.
Yeah, that doesn't mean we don't want feedback. We don't take feedback. We appreciate and enjoy all feedback. So yeah, sorry.
No, and I think that's my main theme. What else? Anything else you'd add to that from your perspective as head coach?
Yeah, I mean, with a lot of, we already have that, like you just said, we have that culture established. Like before any of this happened, we had buckets of wipes around the gym. Everyone mops up their area. But it's even more important, imperative that we stick to it and do it even more. That's why, rather than us having one or two, I think they're 3-gallon buckets of disinfectant wipes around the gym, we have 4 right now. and we have several refills in the back ready to restock those at any point that we need to. We change the mop bucket water after every class that we do and put, new disinfectant and soap in there. If it's something that someone's, this is kind of how I go about it. If someone's not cleaning up the greatest, I'll come over and I'll start helping them. I'm not trying to sit there and tell them how to do things, but I want them to see what we're trying to accomplish here, rather than just like, just a quick little scrub and I'm good. No, like we need to make sure we're covering this all down and covering our bases. Because again, you don't know what the person next to you is like. If the person next to you sees you, halfway wiping down things, I don't want to work out next to them, or I don't want to come to the same class with them again, Right. And so we want to make sure we avoid that so that everyone feels comfortable when they come into our setting. And so making sure, just reinforcing it, I guess, with what we do, and putting that little extra effort into making sure we go the extra mile for it. But at the end of the day, we already do a pretty good job of that before any of this. So I think with us, it's just refining what we already do.
Right.
So I think that's a really big thing that's important for our members. I think that's a big part of why our members are so excited to come back to us after this COVID, is because they already know we clean up after ourselves. That's why they all are itching to get back in. Right. Is because we have that culture already established.
And I think the two additional points is you have an open air, 18-foot ceiling, a garage doors open in a summertime space to operate. So we've never really had a space issue. Yeah. I think in terms of moving around, it's not confined. There's not plate loaded equipment just kind of packed in next to each other. So there's a lot of movement. You're in and out of the gym moving around. And the second is we have personal training options, private coaching options, where if you just know you're not going to turn that corner for months, but you want to train, you can train in essentially an empty gym with a coach and still get that experience and be in a zone of comfort. So, this is a real thing everybody went through, and we don't have all the answers. And as members come back, we're still paying attention to what's going on. We're listening. What can we do better? And then at some point, what do we need to lessen if there is anything we need to lessen? I think a lot of things that we've done before are getting validated by this. It feels like we're trained to operate that way, including our members, but I feel like there's always more to learn. And as things unfold, I think that the community can expect us to be responsive to those things very quickly. Yeah. When we know there's something valid we can do different, or from a public health standpoint, we learn new things. We are a healthcare organization. We're proactive. We're ahead of anything happening, and we want to keep people out of physical therapy. We want to keep them out of surgeries. We want to keep them out of cardiovascular health. All of these things, we're at the front lines of doing that. So having a facility, coaching staff, anything in that environment that operates outside of that would be the antithesis of what you're paying for. So I think that's really where it's at. If you have other questions about this, go to the chat icon in the bottom of munciecrossfit.com. Eric can take those. And if it's an idea, something you might have heard, we'll take that in from just the general public. And if you're a member who has a current situation that you want to chat about, that's another great place to go if you don't have one of our phone numbers to talk it out. But we're excited to have everybody back. I know as a coaching staff, Eric's done a great job preparing us. I've worked with the team. We feel like we are ready to get the gang back in there and get after it. So welcome back. Get moving.